And welcome to Amberskies and the C++ Game Club. Yeah, we're back. It's day 29. It's Wednesday, isn't it? I think it's Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday, the 21st of August, 2019. So, what were we looking at, eh? What were we looking at? Oh, dear. Let's have a quick look here. Library, yeah, application at 75 kilobytes. That's moved. Oh boy, has that moved. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Just pop you away a second. Where are we? Programs, game development. Our CPP application is now standing at 942 kilobytes. Wow. That's gone up a bit. So that's now 942 kilobytes. Oh my God. So what happened to the library? That's what you're all asking, isn't it? Something must have happened. Possibly not. Yeah. Still got 3 DLLs though. I think, yeah. Yeah. Our library's at 78014. That was clever of me. It doesn't work if I do that. 7,814K. What's going on, Blades? Well, glad you asked. We went 3D. Remember all that work we've been doing on 3D for the last, for the first, 28 days? 27 days? 27 days it was. Well, in the first 18 or so, those, I wrote something rather silly. A little bit of a test app for 3D. Well, yesterday I fixed it. Well, not actually this morning. I finished fixing it. Well, putting it together properly, should I say. So what are we really looking at here? We're looking at a 3D app with nothing to do. I've only got one bit of 3D working so far. I haven't gone into testing the rest. So let's have a look at what we do have. We have access. We can access 3D.obj files. Currently set we've only got colour ones. Textures will follow. I think they're already working, but I just haven't set it up. Textures will follow. I'll carry that on my own time. Because you've seen all the code. Just watch the series on YouTube from the beginning. You'll see all of the code. It's just, well, yeah, it is the same. Roughly, nearly, most of it. What don't we have? The intro. And that is going to be critical because at the moment I don't really know how to do it. The intro is going to be comprised of what I wanted to talk about, the logon. What do we need to securely log a person onto our system? That's the things we've got to look at. What kind of information can we ask? And security and hacking. Now remember, I'm a research and developer, or do R&D, research and development programmer. There's another word for that. I've just written it. I'm not allowed to say it. So, I'm going to talk about hacking for a second. Because it's important. Well, it is to me anyway. Very important to me. It's how you get a job in security and R&D. So what can we do about this then? So we're going to log into our system and we've got this problem. People might hack it. No. It's not might. People will hack your game. Yeah. Do you get the hint? What's the security? Well, it's something called money. Let's talk about that because I don't have any value in money, which is why I became a research and developer and didn't get rich doing my former stuff. People will hack your game. Trust me, I know they will hack your game. There's no two ways about it. Little story. There's a guy over in America who... am I allowed to say the name of the game? Well, a famous role-playing game, fantasy, online. You can guess which one it is. I'll give you 3 guesses, and it's one word. Oh no, it isn't. It's 3, isn't it? And they started gold mining using bots and selling the gold for real-world money. And the guy was earning about 1,000 a month. And thought, hey up, I'm onto a good deal here. He got caught, unfortunately, for the community anyway. He got caught. He did quite well out of it and got sued for about $2.5 million, which he was quite happy about and had to pay. Well, I don't know if he's continuing the court case at the moment, which is why I'm not saying any names. I think he might still be fighting against the company that own the RPG. Under certain American laws, you can do certain things. Because of the 5th and 4th Amendment and your rights and all of that. Now, another person over in America possibly doesn't live in America, maybe a bit towards the north, maybe, near a border or across a border. He wrote a client for that game and to bot cash collecting. And he ran 3 to 4 of those bots in clients all at once on his machine, because that's all his machine could handle. He was grossing nearly up to 1 million a month in real life money. He had, how can you put it? A customer list, put it that way. He's not too open about talking about it for obvious reasons, but when he does talk about it, it's usually with his friend, the one that got caught. And it's a damn shame because he got closed down, not by the game company, but by the Chinese, because what they did was exactly the same thing. They had the same idea as him, did all the same kind of things, but instead of using a computer to host 3 or 4, they had server farms running thousands of clients at a time. That is the scale of hacking. Don't think small. They're not in for it for the small. They're not in for it for a kick. They're in for it for real life money. Why do people hack? Because at the end of the day, there's 2 things there's one thing they will get out of it. Profit. God, I can't even spell the word because I don't have an understanding of it. That's just where my mind is. My lovely other half deals with the money of the household, not me, for obvious reasons. That's why they do it. So where's your security? Do you attempt to block hackers, or do what the company in question did, which was to ban them all at the end of a month, and then try and see if they will give them another 50 quid for a new game to do exactly the same again, because the profits that we're making were way over 50 quid a month. And so the game company was making sure that they had a rolling stock of clients very willing to buy their game by banning them. But not banning them as soon as they hacked, but banning them 1 month later. Why? Because the game company got that. The hackers were not profiting from the game company directly. In fact, they were supporting the game company by rebuying the game every month. Have you got this so far? The game companies are not trying to stop hackers. What they are actually doing is detection. AAA companies detect. Set up a ban list on a script and push the button at the end of the month. Yeah. What security will you have for your game if AAA games haven't even made their security? Oh, they'll pretend to. Oh, yes, they'll pretend to. You can approach them. You can approach every AAA game, RPG, and say, how are you doing against hackers? And the answer to them is, oh, yes, we're detecting them quite nicely. Thank you. Yeah, but they're also earning a lot of money out of it. On the downside, you've got games out there at the moment that their economies have just gone splat. I mean, they've been nuked by it. mainly from gold sellers. I think you've heard of those. So, you want to make an MMO, do you? How is it impossible to make it, uninteresting for hackers? Forget detection, forget trying to stop them. That's not on the table. If you try and stop them, they get wise to it, and if they want to pull up new tricks, they'll pull up new tricks. You've got a cat and mouse operation going on all the time. And quite honest with you, how much research and development do you want to do? What do you think I do on my time off? I do extracurriculum research and development. Of course I do. And usually in the security area, to find out whether or not things are secure. And there isn't any security. Just let that sink in. But you're saying blades. Of course there is. We can do our hard drives. We can encrypt our hard drives. We can encrypt our emails. But how are you sending them? You're sending them via a POP mail server. Is that end-to-end secure? No. You might be sending it to them securely, but when they transmit it to the place where it's going to, what's your guarantee that it's secure still? Have you asked? Interesting. End-to-end security, there is none, because always down the chain something will happen where a computer doesn't have the hash protocol for finding out from your email or whatever where to send it, because that's encrypted too. Yeah, this is interesting because everybody's heard of the dark web. Oh, people are undetectable on the dark web, aren't they? No, they're not. Of course they're detectable. You've still got connections. Just because it's hard to track you doesn't mean you're not trackable. Everything's traceable, trackable. Everything's got metadata. Everything's got information. Even if it's where it's coming from and going to. Everything has that on the internet. Your phones. Every 3 seconds they ping for a lamppost or whatever kind of post you use to send your calls by, your texts by, or whatever. And they can be followed. You can dump the contents of a tower for mobiles. You can go to a specific day on that tower, or say, we want this week here, or we want from this day to this day, and you can dump everything that happened on that tower. Everything is logged. Your movements on that day, if you were carrying that phone and it was on, are known. Think about that. Where is the security? There isn't any. There is no security on the internet. Remember, we all cried, freedom of speech. The internet must be free. And it is. But that goes both ways. And you've got to accept that when you're going to make an MMO. The internet is free and it works both ways. If somebody wants to make a profit off your game, you have, in my mind, no right to stop them. If you make a game they can profit from, well, who's the fool there? So, this is the target profit. Now, before I start making an MMO, I've got the 3D graphics, I've got the servers, I've got everything that I need. I've got to explain one thing. The game that I'm going to write won't matter about people hacking it. In fact, the game information and the way to help yourself write it are all on display on the internet. They're all logged. It's every single day. It's all logged. And it's open for view on my website. Oh, no, not my website, YouTube. So, that's the first point. That's why I'm doing this. I want to make sure you understand one thing, and one thing only. Whatever happens in my videos, there is no real world money connection. Okay? Which has now allowed me to use... oh God, the worst thing in hell. Save changes, yeah, please. It's actually funny because now I've said all of that, that's a complete disclaimer to what I'm about to do. Which means that Microsoft now has no claim over anything that I publish. Thank you. Bows. But it's the truth, and I will hold to that. Totally. Now, let's see what we've got. Here we go. Come on, Microsoft, do your worst. Annoy me again today, will you? God, you're good at it. Here we go. We've got a tester, which I need to use, a library, and an application. Our application now currently stands at a few extra lines. None. There you go. That's our application. It's big, innit? Alright, let's go and have a look at the real application now, Blades. So we've got our OpenGL set up. We've got our clear colour, which is a very dark shade of red-orange-ish sort of colour. We've got our OpenGL version being printed out to the console, just in case you're interested. You can take that out if you want to. As you see, OpenGL stuff goes here. In fact, it's no test anymore, it's working. Test has gone. This is now live. It's a GL depth test using GL blend with the standard source alpha of 1 minus source alpha. So 0 means nothing and 1 means 100%. So it's 0 to 100. There you go. 1.00 is 100%. It's a float. So that's how that's used with the blend function. You'll see it as a fourth one in a vector. When we were doing vectors for positions couple of weeks back, I put the W on. I'll try and jog your memory. Where can I find it? I'll find it in the library. Let's get rid of the tester a minute. In the library under OBJ data. So if we go down to vertices, no, just vertices will do. Vertex parameter. You've got a UV and a WEC. I've actually put 3 in the UVs, but I haven't used them. I'm only using 2 of those. Is that a good idea? Yeah, I think so. But to complete what it says, you have to put the W on. Normals is X, Y, Z. Text coordinates are UVW, and vertices are X, Y, Z, W. Why W? Because there isn't a letter after Z in the English alphabet, so we just went to W, because it comes before X. That's literally the reason. Ran out of letters. So yeah, that's there for that blending function, so we can do a bit of blending later on. We have our OpenGL context. It's set to OpenGL 3.3. Not sure what it gives us. I think it does give us 3.3 on Windows, which is unique because it lies to you. Vertical sync enabled. Yes, you should do that. Now, this will activate vertical synchronization, which will limit the number of frames displayed to the refresh rate of the monitor. This can avoid some visual artifacts and limit the frame rate to a good value, but not constant across different computers. Vertical synchronization is disabled by default. Notice it says limit to display refresh rate. So this is going to go and disappear. The only reason I'm using it at the moment is because I don't want to set my fans off on my graphics card. It will do a little bit, even with the refresh, even with it turned down to refresh rate. It turns it from 1,500 refresh rate down to about 60, which is a bit better. I think the other one was a bit overkill. So we set our window to active, which in actual fact is a little bit disingenuous. What it's doing on the current thread, and you've got to be careful that with these multi-threaded platforms, is that it gives you a context. In our case, an OpenGL context. There. Which is major version 3, minor version 3. And everything else is default. There's no point in doing anything with everything else. Unless you really want to mess about with it, that's up to you. Then I initialize glue, which gives us the OpenGL 3.3 command set. Then I initialize the application, which gives us those bits which I've already just popped through. Set running to true, and set up a test for 3D, which goes on for a bit, which goes on for a bit more, and on for a bit more, on for a bit more, but ends up in me making a test entity, a sun, and that camera we wrote, which is now in testing. This is the reason why I did this, is just to put the camera in there. Because it was an interesting idea. Not messing around with a lot of things. I'll show you what I mean. If you go to Toolbox, what I used to do to create the view matrix was pop it through this function and it returned the matrix, and that's how you do it. Alright, that's how you do a camera view matrix. There's the code for it. I've left it in. But now I've embedded it. I've embedded it in the camera, which is in core. Oh, I've added something else to the camera as well, just a little holder. Yeah. I just put that in so it'd hold it and pull it through with it. Projection matrix I've just chucked in there because I know that I'm going to be using the camera. The camera's going to go into the batch renderer, so you may as well take that with you because it comes from the screen, the window. On the camera side, what I've done is we've been calculating through the matrix as the rotations and things happen, and every time the matrix is called for, we just quickly put it together, very quickly, and just translate it as well by the positions wherever the camera is. Now I know the positioning works, I don't know about the rotations yet, I haven't tested rotations. Okay. Everything else is the same as before, except I've added colour, which is what I've been doing. The shaders, we now have a colour shader. Only changed in the colour shade from a texture shader is not that. Well, yeah. Colour, V colour instead of V texture. Colour 4 instead of texture 3, I think I was using. Goes through, just pass it straight through. On the fragment side, bring colour in. And on the last line, you just change lighting to colour instead of lighting to that texture thingy. And of course, I've removed the uniform 2D texture thingy there as well, because it wasn't needed. So colour, not easy to, well, sorry, very easy to modify. Get rid of that toolbox now. Where am I up to? So that's your camera, your toolbox, your colour. So what happens once you've got your entity, which went through the loader? So parsed a line of text, and then parsed a line of text for the mtext. So we did the object file, the MTL file, and then we just stored the object on the graphics card, and store all the goodies in model. So model contains has normals, has texture, the index count, the texture ID, if there is one, a UUID, which is its universal unique identification number, which it receives here after being made, and reflectivity, there's a shiny damper in there, and there's the VAO ID, which is needed. So the two things that are really needed there are the index count and the VAO ID. Those are the two things that I'm really interested in. The rest is convenience stuff, really. Very convenient for me to put them there. Just stuff I thought might be handy. So, we get the model. We get an entity. We give it a model ID, which is the universal unique identification number of the model. We give the entity a position, in this case at the center of the universe, and we give the entity a scale, in this case 1. We then place a sun. I put this one at 25, 20, 30. Okay. Colour, 888, never use 1. Always give yourself a bit of space. The camera, which I'm testing out, I've placed at 25, 75, 1. Notice the 4th. There really should be a 4th on the positions as well. Is that sun position really Vec 3? It is. Huh. Yeah, they're all Vec 3s. Doesn't really matter because I've written them. Amber Maths was extended slightly. Yeah. If you want to know how any of the Amber Maths works, by the way, just say. I'm very happy to go through any file that I've got and show you the ins and outs, the details on how it works, and explain every single last bit to you if that's what you want or what you need. I don't mind, just keep asking, be inquisitive. That's what will make you a good programmer in the end. So, projection matrix gets stored in the camera because it's convenient. I can't remember, what is aspect ratio? Oh, I think I've boobed again. Open GL aspect ratio. Oh god. Ratio, thank you. Aspect ratio, window is 800 by 600. It's 4 by 3. Width times height. Yeah. So I think I'm right. Cancel. Thank you, Google. Oh, yes, I was listening to the radio before. Sorry. Width times height. Yeah, I'm right then. Width times width over height, sorry. So, main loop. Very simple loop. What we do is we clear. We then use our event, loop event, to poll the window. And if the loop event is event closed, running equals false. I'm just wondering whether to put a continue in there or not. Or have I put an if? Running equals false. What will continue do at that stage? Will it go to the while loop here? It will, won't it? Yeah. It'll still go. It'll do the same anyway here. So continue probably isn't really worth it. We could break. That still put us past there. Really, if that X button is pressed, if running equals false, then continue. That'll just save it going through an extra batch render process, which wouldn't be needed at that point. You close the window, why go and try and render to it? Not really much point, is there? So we process our world model. We send the batch renderer the test entity and the model. The batch renderer then stores that in a map in case you are using the same model for more entities. It will store each entity against the model. The model is the key to the map. So when we get round to actually rendering, we will be rendering one model at a time for each entity that you've used with that model. So you can have as many entities as you want for each model. If you want trees, makes it easy. Makes it very easy. Then we call the renderer with the sun and the camera. Because the camera's got that hidden extra matrix in it, which makes everything easy. I was going to do the push states and the GL pop states, but you're going to see what happens. I want to know why it happens. Well, I know why it happens, but I just want you to understand why it happens. App shut down, return true. Okay, so that's all there is. Do we really need the GL triangle anymore? I know it's pretty. Go on, I'll put it back in a minute or two. So, which test am I on? I'm on test 1. Alrighty, let's run it. I always do multiple tests. You can see there's now a lot of weird stuff popping up. Yeah, that's a cube. Doesn't do anything, it's just a cube. That's a long way off. That is a long, long way off. And to prove that the light is working, I just wanted to see it at a distance. That was all. I wanted to make sure it would go in frame. And it did quite nicely. Because it's a big cube. On test 0, I'll show that this time round. The extra window. There we go, that's the floor. So as you can see, the sun, you can see that it just shows you that the shader is working properly. So that is a 50 meter by 50 meter floor. I am a long way out. I think I'm 75 meters away from the center. And then there's another 25 meters. So that length there is 100 meters. Should I really be able to see that far? He's probably cutting me off. I don't know. Can't remember what I gave myself. Test 3D. I gave myself 50 meters. I've given myself 100. I wonder if I can see the end. I will show you that window in a minute. Doesn't seem to change much. So I'm not sure everything's working on that. Yeah. The other window, by the way, is just telling me that I'm using OpenGL 3.3, that everything was constructed properly. The current index count is 33. Should be 32. No, it should be 36. Have I minus 3 off it again? It tells me which VAO we're using, indices, VBO, and the attributes. So you've got position attribute pointer, you've got your normals attribute pointer, and in this case the colour attribute pointer. And those are the channels that things are on. It tells me that it was constructed, but you've got to see this next one. And when you close that, it just pops straight out and tells me everything's shut down properly. Okie dokies, and blah blah blah. What's this error list that keeps popping up? It's not there anymore. This is a bit weird, isn't it? It just disappears. But there are errors. It's not mainly in my stuff either, because I'm using C++ 17, and one of the things I'm using called glue was written in C++ 11. It doesn't quite match up in some areas. I'll put it that way, I'll be polite. So that's working as intended, but there is a problem. Big problem, and one that I'm going to have to solve sooner or later, like now. And it's this window push and pop. What this does is it takes your context for OpenGL and it stores it on the stack. And I mean by OpenGL context, everything. Absolutely everything. Okay, it then allows you to do your Windows draw, which does like test shape. I think I did some writing and a test thingy and everything, didn't I? Oh, that's what I was going to do, wasn't it? I wanted to show you this because this is important too. That one. So, oh, it won't show. Okay, probably not. It'll crash, I hope. Please crash. No, it did show. Oh, that's good. Huh? You're not supposed to work. Oh, I must have fixed the problem. Are you joking me? I fixed the problem, didn't I? Oh, stupid me. What it was doing, it was crashing the camera. And the other thing I want you to do is look at the OpenGL states here. And we talk about context. Now, there's two contexts here. There is the context of OpenGL 1.1, which is this here, and outside of the begin and end is OpenGL 3.3, which is what we're using to render with. So I'm 75 meters away from there, but that is still only half a meter in front of me. So to put it to scale, what you should be seeing is you'd have to alter it because it's in two separate contexts. So you can see now what the contexts mean. When something goes out of context, it has its own center of the universe, and it has its own colour, its own everything. So now, if I run it, stop that one. Thank you. Run that one. Hopefully it won't crash. You can't see it because it's so goddamn tiny. Yeah, stupid, isn't it? I mean, if I put it at -5, you'll start seeing what I mean. You just can't see it because it's too damn small. So even -5, it's getting quite far away. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone out the plane. You can't go that far. You can't go past -1. The cutoff. The cutoff default here for OpenGL 1.1, we've just found out what it is 1.0, sorry, it's minus 1.0f to a 1.0f. So that's as far as you can mess about, I'm guessing. So if I put 1.1, I'm discovering things here. This is what is called research and development, by the way. What you do is you play around with your numbers. You got some numbers. You found something interesting. Why did they just shut it? I don't know. And you just want to play with it to see what it'll do, how you can use it to your special effects. Because I can now use OpenGL 3.3 plus OpenGL 1.1 to make some rather doozy effects. There you go, it's just outside of range, it should be. Yeah, so it's looking as though it's just outside of range. Okie dokie, does he reuse that? Well, blow me down, I never knew that. Microsoft. It's now 2019 and you've only just realised that you can use the same console. Oh my god. Let's see if 0 will work. Or do we have to be at 0.999? There you go. Works. So that proves the theory. This I didn't know about. There you go. If you don't close it and you press it again, you might just see the flash. There you go. How's about that? It uses the same console now. That's a first, Microsoft. You got something right. Well done. And if somebody turns around to me and says that was done in 2017, I'm going to cry. Oh well. I've got to go through all of that now and take all my messages out. That's alright, I'll do it later. So, now I've got that working, I've got it answered. Because what I can do now is branch out. I'm going to leave those tests in, but we want to branch out. We want to branch out and do something interesting. So, what can we call it? Introduction? What would you call it in a book? I need more ideas. What do you think? Come on, viewers, what do you think? What should we call it? What shall we call this? Whoops. Yeah, just for giggles. Go to Amber, B library. Make sure the blue thing is circled, and then I can just go to Amber, right click and add something called a folder, not what it would have told me. So intro, or the intro, an intro, Amber intro, Amber. That comes before Amber Math, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Fantastic. So, what do we want our intro screen to do? Well, first things first, shall we? Let's set this up. We want an int and it wants to be called current RPG state, and it's going to be equal to 0. And our current RPG state is going to tell our main loop what to do. So state equals 0. What we're going to have there is test mode. Okay. State equals 1, because I don't want to get rid of my tests at the moment, because I'm still developing the other half, which is the textures. Next one is going to be intro mode. Okay. You can see how you can develop this. I don't think it's rocket science. So current state equals 0. Right, okay, so we're going to change that to 1 straight away because we want to do intro mode. We want to develop something. So that always happens. That always happens. That doesn't. That doesn't. So there's your if statement. If current RPG state is equal to 0, do the following, which is that because it looks nice. Shove the sun in camera, a window, push and pull. We're not actually using that. Well, I'm not at the moment anyway. Bing. So, if there's no way of getting from 0 to 1, by the way. I've done that on purpose. If current RPG state is equal to 1, and I want to do the following. Oh, sure, I didn't want to do that. And of course, we always want to window display at the bottom. We do that. And the last one is if current RPG state is greater than or equal to 2. Then running equals false. Continue. It'll never do the display. You'll never change that window. You've got to intercept it. Okay. So now we can intercept it properly. Running equals false. We can now also put in here current RPG state equals 99. It's just so I don't have to keep changing it every time I change how many. If there's going to be more than 98 states, I'm in trouble because it's going to be a very, very long if, lots of if statements. I'm happy there, happy there, happy there, and I've set it to 1. Right, okay. And what I'll do is I'll just say what should we say? Game set initial game state. Why do I do this? You might be asking yourself. Why do I keep doing these weirdo thingies in the middle of these? There's a big reason for it. Alright, when you are developing, you'll find out that sometimes you overdevelop in one area, like we're doing here. We're slightly overdeveloping this. This first part here, because it's not within one of these if statements, should be a function. Yeah. So this should be pulled out and be a function. The return value is actually that, not that. So that's how you refactor. So when we come to refactor, we'll be taking this bit out and refactor it into a separate bit and clean up our loop. Actually, I'll do it whilst we're here. I'm going to develop that way. I'm going to develop properly now. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it from the beginning and develop as we go properly now. So what happens is you do this. And the reason that I do all of those weirdo things is so I can find things. I find it so hard to find things. So it's an int for the return value, and it is it's operating system events. So it's poll I'll just call it events, because I know what it means. I know that means the operating system, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, thanks. Can I have one of them? Tar. Yeah, that'll do. Don't need anything else in here. If you've noticed, no variables. There's a big reason for that. I did it on purpose because most of this stuff will move. So now what we do is we take you from there to there. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Bing. Cut. It's actually put it in the wrong place. No, it hasn't. Never mind. So, application polyvents, blah, 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 blah. Window. So it needs window. That's just game state. So, okay. Equals. I mean, it doesn't matter, does it? It's bool. No, it's not. You have to pass it in. Never mind. Can't do that. So, let's have a look, see what we need. We need int game state, comma, and window. Yeah, and we can do that loop event within. Okay, so can we go and grab that loop event from somewhere, wherever it's hiding? It's hiding in with this lot. There it is. Oh, cut it. Okay, that's a good. Game state copy. Game state goes to there, paste. Running equals false is irrelevant. Game state goes to there, V. Okay. So it just passes through. Camera. Yeah, okay. We'll pop the camera through as well. So, comma. Amber, colon, camera 3D, isn't it? Yeah. And there we go, that's that done. Any more? Nope. I think I got the lot there. I'll just pop you in there. Ding. Thank you. Yeah, look at all the includes for test 3D. Those are going to disappear, I can tell you. So that's happy. That's happy. All we have to do now is use it. Would help if you put that in. So I'll just borrow you. Pop you here. That's never going to happen. But we can now use our game state, can't we? Current RPG state. Current RPG state equals and semicolon. Right, what do we got? Window. Okay. Game state, yeah. I just caught that by accident. And camera. Right. What we can do now. Okay, so we can catch it there. After the poll. Okay. I honestly thought I'd added it here. Have I added it somewhere where I shouldn't have done then? 0, 1. Yeah, did it there. Yeah, that intercepts it there. Because each one of these may change the current RPG state. So I might have a keyboard thing going on to change between game states. So that will allow me to do that. That's good news. I'll do that later. Lovely. What have I put in here? Amber info. Intro. God, that took a while. I think I'm moving too fast here for our visual studio, so let's just slow down. Slow down there, hippies. I remember then. In fact, if it's slow down time... Right, what I'm going to put on screen is a shader. And it's the frag shader because that's the important one. Okay, if I click that button, I should get an epic pen. this point that we need poor little system to catch up with us. Give yourselves 10 mins. So, alright. Just give yourself a few mins of a break. Because I've been going fast again, and I know I have. It's usually a bad idea. I need a pointer, please. Thank you. Give you some music. Be right back. back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Hey, lovely. Let's just get rid of you. Okay. Isn't it funny? You've got to love creating things. That's what this is all about, not destroying things. Well. The modern world is all about destroying things. I hope some of my thoughts rub off on some people, maybe one day. So yeah, I was just left that shader on screen. I didn't show the bottom bit, sorry about that. Final lighting and final fragment out colour. Yeah, just in case you needed the bits and pieces off that, because it's a rather nice lighting technique as you saw before. Let's write this. So we're writing it over here in Amber Info, aren't we? So we can get rid of this, can't we? Intro. Alright, so let's add new item, header file. And we'll call it, am I using lower or upper? Oh, who cares? Intro. Dot. Why did they not? They've not got this bit right. Never mind. And classes. Never ask for a class. God. Does all kinds of weird stuff. New item. CPP file. And it's just going to be intro.cpp. That worked. Still. Nearly. And we'll go back to this again, are we? Intro.h, please. Namespace. I'll have Amber. That might change now, because it's gone 3D. I'll think about it. Oh, what did I do that for? It doesn't know. It's not bright. Oh, it's put me the pragma once in at least. And let's have a class. Ooh. Let's not have a class. Let's have a struct. And we will call it intro. Fantastic. Alright. What are we going to do then? The screen's clear. We can do what we want, can't we? Good point. We'll put it here instead. No, don't do it that way. Intro. Intro, ha, ha, ha. Prepare. One day I'll learn to spell. Oh, go on then. We'll do these silly thingies. Save. Ah dear. We'll need a render for it. Not sure. I'll put a void render in. Prepare, render, and Blech. Put that with a capital P. I like my capitals, me. You're not supposed to do that with these, are you? Yeah, it's true. Okay, we won't. Alright, I'll do it properly. Yeah. What do you go? And let's see, what else will we need? I'll put a private in as well. Hate doing that because then I've got to do that again. I'm going to leave that. Why is render not coming up now? Because you need R-E-N-D-E-R. How did I spell it before? Oh, we haven't done it. That's why. La, la, la. That'll do. I've got a couple of thingies now to play with. Right, what will I need? First of all, I'm going to need OpenGL? Don't know. Rendering, yes. I do know. Alrighty. Hash include, and it's doing that weird thing, isn't it? So it's dot dot dash. We'll have rendering, and I'll have world models. And what do I want out of world models? Something that isn't there. We've got model entity sun. Alright, okay. Struct, and it's user. I never call them a player. Never. There we go. What do we need to know about the user? So, std colon string. Let's see. This is where we're going to start thinking a little bit about what we can actually ask them. And I was talking about the security earlier. You can't ask them anything. Interesting. Okay. So what we're going to do? Well, we'll ask them for a name. I could say username. No. So first name. And that equals that. And they can put whatever they want in. And it's not second name or Christian name, it's last name. Let's be nice to people out there. There's been too many mistakes by the British government on that one, trust me. I know, I was there. I'll have another one as well. I'll have a standard string, and this one is going to be for something. Nickname or preferred. Yeah, just nickname. And of course they're all equal to a none, which they should be, because everybody should be anonymous. The one thing we are not going to be doing is asking them for their real names. Any name will do. In fact, the first thing we are going to print on the screen is a warning, a security warning. Please do not use your real name. On the internet, you are supposed to be anonymous. Now, what else can we have? For game purposes, I'll put this in actually. For RPG purposes, you would probably have race, int, and that will be -1. Start off that because you can't have that. Okay. Gender. Equals -1. Gotta choose them. Gotta choose them. Again, don't have to be specific about the genders. You can say male-ish and or female-ish, because sometimes you really can't tell. I mean, what happens if you want to play a tortoise? Okay, they're going to walk around slow, but it's hard. I know there's a male and a female tortoise, but it's usually quite hard to tell. Well, without making soup out of them, I suppose. But yeah, that's on Sundays when I go sailing. I'm in the Caribbean then. What else could we know about them? Well, I went through this, didn't I? Should we do this properly? Where did I put it? Ching, ching. That's a good question, actually. Yeah. I've got this somewhere, so I'm going to stop there. Because the rest is all automatic. And I'll leave this space for automatic assignment of skills. Okay, can't think. And thingies. No, it's IES, isn't it? Yeah, that's correct. That's how I spell it. Lovely. Why is there a line there? There isn't now. Good. Right. This system worries me at times. It really does worry me. So we can have a user. Well, we can now anyway. So I want one of them. And I'll have that there. I always put my variables at the top. It's going to be, well, just user. They've all got values, haven't they? Yeah. I'll want to keep these values, won't I? Yeah. Not sure. I'm going to leave them here for now. Oh, why? Put it there for a reason. Right, so I've got a user. So we need to prepare the screen somehow. So we would have a picture at the top. Let's design. Oh, come here, Mischief. That's what this is for. So I'm looking at something like let's see, pen maybe. Good idea. Picture. Going there-ish. Chumpa. Then title. Something like welcome to Amber 3D. Pictures of the races will be 3D eventually. So we'll have to reserve that block. It'll have to be a certain height and everything. That's fine. And then it will show name. And we're going to have to make some kind of pop-out menu thingy. I'm just wondering whether SFML will go that far. Because when I say name, it's going to have 3 fields. Well, 2 fields. First. Eek, that didn't work well. Oh, God. My hand is not very good at the moment. Can you tell? I'll just do this bit again. Clean that up. So you'd have your first name here. Your second name here. Do we need the nickname showing? Yes, we do. So you would put it here, wouldn't you? Name. Close it off with sparkly. No, that's wrong. Never, 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 never put that there. Bad. Bad blades. That's not where they expect to see it. So that's your exit button. And I think you continue can go here. Never say play. Never try drawing buttons. God, I draw well. There we go. So that's what we're looking at. Simple layout. Very hard. Well, it's very easy to do, but not for me because I'm simple. That has to go 3D eventually. Oh, Muppet, that's really great if you just sat right on the pad. You got your bum imprint on my screen now. There you go. He is a lovable soul. You do come in at the right times, don't you? So that's what we're looking to build. How do I do that? So, if I pop... don't do that. Grows to full screen if you do that. Intro. Right. Prepare. We're going to need to set... load images, set areas for clicks. What else are we going to have to do? Areas for clicks, yeah. And input. Input's not so bad. But we left our poll. Oh, that's going to be interesting. So we need to be able to poll whilst we're in here. Thank you. That's what was missing. Just prepare. Woo! Wow, that was quick. Update. So this is prepare. I'll do it properly now. No, not like that. Not with the caps lock on. Right, let's get this set up properly. Okay. Right, we're getting somewhere now. Yeah, you're okay, you're okay, you're alright. Update isn't. God, why does it move so slowly, this thing? Create. Okie dokies, that's all we need. That's going to need an input. So this is going to come through from application. Okay, so what do we now need? We now need Amber intro. Have I left anywhere here that I'm actually making things like no, that's under test. And that's intro mode. So I'll do it after intro mode, I don't care. As you can see, the order of things at the moment isn't in the right order. Things will have to be swapped around. So we have not included it. That's why I was going to click on this one. Oh god. It goes here. So hash include Amber. Is this right? Where am I? I'm not in rendering. Right, we are inside source. So why has it just come up with that? Oh, I see. Right. There we go. So that's that done. Which gives us now, well, hey, the first start of the game. Intro. Why has it not come up? Because it's Amber intro. Righty. Now that automatically sets up a character. I've thought of another one for the intro. And that goes here. And yeah. Thank you. So we're going to have to read the character sheet. Which is going to have to be held somewhere else. So our user is going to have two areas. That's not good. Don't think we want to put this in world models. This is where I want the player. Yeah. This is why I've been holding off. Just trying to get it organised in my own mind now. And why I've put user. How much am I going to need? ABC, no, can't use it. I want to pull this out of here for the user and make a full file for the user. Give them their own space. Maybe? Maybe not. Just realised this window's too high. Thing is, I need somewhere to put everything. And the intro is not the place to put it. Oh dear. Better idea. I think that's how you spell it. It's about time we switch E-radio off. I think, is it double S what? Yes, it's double S. D-O-S-S-I-E-R. Thank you all. Yeah. Because we're going to need the information. See, we're calling it the intro and we're looking at it from the first time somebody starts the program. What are their first impressions type of thing. That's not quite what I wanted. Get rid of that one. Because when you log in the second time, you should be greeted with the first page, but with everything filled in. So we need to read whatever they put in. And we need to save whatever they put in. And that's private. And all of that will have to go somewhere. I'm tempted to just throw it in the core. Because that's where the file handlers are. Yeah. Okay. It's looking good. We're getting there. It's not about coding, it's about design. The coding is easy. It's the design that's hard. Because this is going to get a bit big. And the cat's now lying on my left arm. Going to sleep. Oh no! So we've got a load and save, which we can call. Will we need this information anywhere else? Yes, we'll need it all the time. I'm going to add it. I don't just like adding files for no reason. So we're going to have the Amber user experience. That's a nice way of putting it. It's going to have to go in core. Because it is core to the whole thing. I mean, it's what the whole thing's about. If you don't put it in the core, then where else can it go? I don't know. Right, so we've now got that put together. System includes... yeah, we're alright there. Yeah, I had to put this Ewing thing in because it was starting to mess me about. Yeah, you didn't live very long in here, did you? Poor thing. So all you're going to do at the moment is get a namespace of Amber. A couple of those and a bit of that, and that's it. And that's just going to get a hash include. Yeah, that's right. Brings us back here. God, this list is getting longer and longer. Yeah, that'll do. This is Amber user, isn't it? And that is public. And it always does that, I don't know why. Amber user. Hooray! It's worked it out. Took us a couple of seconds there. And I think that's all I'm going to put in this file. For now. Alright, that's better to me than having it down there in the rendering. So... you're done. You're done. You're not. So it's now going to be core. And it's Amber user. There we go. Lovely. That works better. For me anyway. Come on. Come on. Now we've just got to wait. Because the computer works fast. As if by magic, we got the user. Thank you. So now we've got a user that's useful. What are you what? Don't start opening on me just for fun. It's not very nice of you. We need a text file. And the text file is going to be in resources, I think. Folder, good, yeah. Data. And what I want to do with that is add a new item. It's going to be a sort of header file, and it's just going to be called dossier dot info. could call it dossier.cs for character sheet, couldn't I? That would really confuse everybody. What the hell? No pragma ones, thank you. And all I'm going to do is put in anon, anon, anon. That isn't how you spell anon, is it? Why has nobody told me yet? Anon. Oh, it is a thing. Okay. How bloody weird. Anything else I want to record in here? Oh my god. Let's just have a look back at our data model. Our data model is now held in user. Anon, race and gender. -1. Okay. -1. -1. That's going to come out as a double, isn't it? Doesn't matter. And a space. That's all I need. Right, so that's my text file done. Lovely. Alrighty, I think I'll remember now. Because it's things like that I do forget, unfortunately. It means I have to then go and read through a whole program again to find out what the hell I'm doing. Right, so... I shouldn't have done that. Okay. What have we got? Alright, what have we got to work with now? I can draw something for that. I can draw something simple for that bit. I think I pre-moved it by accident. No, I'll better leave it here so I can see the screen there. Right, I'll put it here. So yeah, I've got a tick there. That can be open GL 1.1 for now. Title. I have done that before where I've done a title that just spins around and it's all 3D and it's really nice and got shiny lighting on it. But if we've got pick of races above, that could go wrong because then the lighting might go over. So we just need a font. Just need to choose a font for the title. So that's just going to be a font. That's going to be fun. I'll think of one in a minute. Again, font plus size. Font plus style. And buttons. Am I really going to do buttons? Seriously? No, I don't think I am. I'm going to abstract that. So you would do blue text on a yellow background. And red text. There. Sparkly. Something I've been wanting to do for ages, and we might be doing that next actually, because I don't really care about all of this other stuff too much. I might start making the window, but I'm never overly bothered with it. It's something that I'm very bad at concentrating on. But the sparklies and stuff like that, oh yeah. What's that going to be? What do they call it? Oh god, it's gone out of my head. That's typical, isn't it, when I'm trying to invent things on the spot. It normally takes me about 2 hours in a long bath to think of one thing, and here I am sat here trying to do everything in like 2 hours, and I've got about 6 minutes left. Something emitter, particle. Now that I wouldn't mind having. Right, any ideas or any suggestions on what you want me to start on tomorrow? Do you want me to start on the screen, or do you want me to start doing a particle emitter? Now that would be nice. Because there's also for the future, or Back to the Future, lighting effects. I'm very happy to do those. It's so easy. It's only slight things that you need to do. Particle emitter is a bit more interesting because I need it a limited one. I can't. If you haven't noticed, I haven't been doing too many stars and pointers, so I can't have too many particles. So it's got to have with a particle range. So I can up it and down it depending on memory usage. That's something that could be switched on and off. So I've got to be careful with particle emitters. That's okay. That's an idea that's come up with from that. Lighting effects. It probably won't get implemented on the initial screen. It might get implemented on the loading screen. Because I've already got a very good idea for that. I haven't even said anything about that. Loading screen, God. Alright, I've just been writing off the screen, and there you go. So my notes are basically telling me that the sparkly effect might be a bit too heavy on memory for this kind of setup. I mean, it's to start with, it's going to look really cheap and breezy, and then it'll improve over time, because I'm just going to throw something up, to be quite honest with you. I can do a square. Yeah, okay. I'll sit down and map it tonight. I've got 800 by 600 on yeah. Oh God, I like this stuff. So, window. Oh God, people are going to 4K now, aren't they? 800 by 600 is not going to be big enough. Yes, it is. You only need a small little diddy window in the centre of the screen, don't I? Now it's going to have to compile it all because I've been writing in files again. That's 800 by 600. Eek. What about 1024 by 9? It's a bit close to a square at that point, isn't it? I can't do that with my pen. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to use the mouse. No, now I've buggered it by doing that. So don't use pens on this program as yet. It don't work. That's annoying. I really need better numbers for that. I don't know how big people's screens are these days. I mean, do they buy screens 50-inch like me, or what? I doubt it. What would that make that one? $640. $750. $800. That's still a bit much. $750. Let's try it there. Oh, I've broken my button. Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong mode. Dumb. Change modes, didn't I? See, my modes work. There you go. And I still want to go across a bit. I'm starting to stretch it here because what size is the screen I'm using now? Or supposedly, what size is the screen I'm using now? Settings. Okay, let's have a look. Video. 1920 by 1080. Really? Holy dingoes. So half of that is 540 by 1024. It is, isn't it? Jeez. Sorry, I didn't realise it was that big. Is this normal? I mean, is that a normal graphics mode? Sounds a bit big to me. 1920 1080. Let me think about that. That's huge. 540. 640. 810. Nearly got that one right. Oh god, this one's going to be a bit harder. I won't do exact then, I'll just do 1/4. Let's see how close that is. Oh yeah, that's a better size. Now we're talking cookies. I think I might have just gone overboard slightly with 1/400, but okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, by the way, the light that's down here does not affect the triangle, so don't please put it in the comments below. I already know that because they're in different OpenGL contexts. That's why. Oh! My polling isn't working. Typical. Sort that out after. I think that's where we are, roughly. Making a new well, starting up the intro. I've written the data set. All we've got to do is load the data set, start the intro, and fill it in. Save it. Continue. God, that's simple. Alrighty. And I need to block that one, so I'll go and have a look at that in my own time. Excellent, because I need a break now anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go. Lots and lots of ideas there. If anybody wants to see anything specific, not necessarily out of the ideas I've just thrown at the wall, I basically throw things at this wall and see what sticks. And if it sticks, I use it. So there's tons of bits and pieces for me to go at. Particle emitters, I have put for future lighting effects, but yeah, right. But otherwise, it's don't do that. Thank you. Otherwise, it's really me just going down this list and filling in bits and pieces, I guess. Right. Till Friday, I wish you all the best. I'd like you all to keep experimenting. I'd like you to keep hunting through different ideas and asking me to do different ideas. I mean, yeah, I'll drop everything and do what you want. It's your club, not mine. So if you want to inject things into this club and be more partaking of it, I'm quite happy to oblige. The more questions, the merrier. But for now, I'm going to say take care. I'll be uploading this to YouTube as normal today. So if you haven't seen it all, you can see it there, or just rewind and watch it here on, what is it, Twitch I'm on at the moment? Yeah, I think I'm on Twitch. So, take care. And, ooh, gouch. Have fun.